Global Plus TV 160, home of entrepreneurs.
Try the newest, cheapest, and fastest delivery na express service. Introducing Moto Express PH. You can now leave your shopping and delivery needs with us without much exposure and interaction to people outside. Mapa-grocery items, medicines, foods, and other essentials and halal certified products, kami na ang mamimili at maghahatid sa'yo. Sinisigurado na ligtas, in good and quality condition ang mga pabili o orders sa delivery service na iyong i-avail. Para sa maayos at mabilis na delivery at order mo, ipamoto mo na. Download Moto Express PH app through Google Play that is built to deliver beyond your expectation. Tara na dito sa Moto Express. Dahil moto mo to.
Hello, good evening, and welcome again to another special episode ng Walang Kahumpay-Humpay na Pagtutulungan sa ating sambayanan. And welcome to the special episode number 3 of Motivation Philippines, the Almadale Podcast. I'll be there for you. Welcome sa Usapang Buhay, Usapang Karamay para sa inyong pang-araw-araw na advices. Ang sagot ay, I'll be there for you. And tonight, is a very, very special episode kasi hindi lang isa, hindi lang dalawa, kundi 4 po kami kasama ninyo tonight to talk about very, very timely na topic about depression. And of course, welcome again to I'll Be There For You, the Almadale Podcast, at magpapasalamat tayo sa lahat ng ating mga kasamahan when it comes to our cause sa ating advocacy on mental health, especially of course sa ating Global Pinas TV, our official partner and platform of Motivation Philippines. Ayan. So tonight, mga ka-I'll be there, ayan, masaya po tayo because we are going, of course, to have a lot of topics, a lot of discussion. Pag-uusapan natin kung ano yung mga bagay na dapat nating malaman sa ating topic tonight. And that is, I'll be there for you, getting out in the open, usapang depression. At dahil depression, it has been learned sa ating statistics, nakita natin at nalaman natin that accordingly sa report, there are or meron tayong mga 3.3 million Filipinos who have meron po silang related sa depression or pinagdadaanan sa depression. That's a big number kung pag-uusapan at kung titingnan natin. Kaya tonight, tatalakayin natin kung ano ang mga bagay-bagay na dapat nating malaman, maintindihan at pwedeng gawin or pwede nating gawin when it comes to depression. And of course, hindi mangyayari ang ating talk tonight kung wala akong kasama. I would like to welcome first ang una kong co-host, ang aking co-host for tonight, ang ating kasamahan sa Motivation Philippines, also the founder of Iligan Cosplayers Club, and one of the motivational speakers ng Motivation Philippines. Please help to welcome, kasama po natin, Reggie De La Torre. Reg, how are you?
Hi everyone, good evening. Everything is great. I hope okay din yung mga viewers natin.
Yes. Ayan. So I'm also trying to check in kung ating mga kasamahan na pwede nating i-share Nag-share pa ako. So for everyone who's watching and who's with us tonight, always remember pwede po nating i-like at i-share. Oo. Reg, how about you? Kamusta ang yung araw and week?
Konti na lang magiging depressed na ako. Yun. So it's a very relevant ang topic natin ngayon kasi a lot of people are getting depressed with the pandemic. So I hope this helps a lot of people itong topic natin for tonight. So mas maintindihan nila kung ano ba talaga ang depression, what does it mean, kung depressed ka ba, damaged ka ba, broken ka ba. So tonight we have credible people, so meaning people will be hearing facts and not opinions when it comes to depression. So ayun.
Yes, I think tama yung sinabi mo, Reg, that when we talk about depression, kasi I think that's one thing na nangyayari ngayon with the advent of technology, every time na lang, napakabilis, no? You just Google, you get a lot of information, and sometimes you get misinformations coming from the internet. So I think isa sa mga pinagdadaanan ng maraming tao is that when you talk about self-diagnosis, no? Kasi a lot of teenagers would think na, ay nako, meron akong ganito, meron akong ganon. So tama yung sinabi mo that we have people on board that will help us clarify at malaman natin ano ba talaga ang depression, no? Usapang
Yes.
depression, kumbaga. Oo. Mm-mm.
Ang mahirap din
So
kasi sa
tonight,
depression, no?
ayan, yeah, yeah.
Kasi
Go.
kapag may depression yung tao, nahihiya silang lumapit sa mga professionals, no? So it's nice that we're having this. So for everyone, or so for anyone who's having depression, no, na nahihiyang maghanap ng pumunta sa professional help, at least they have this to listen to, and they have professionals who can say stuff about depression that may be able to help them. So ayun.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. So, hindi na natin patatagalin. No? We are going to ask the comments, no, the feedbacks ng ating mga kasamahan tonight. But of course, wag muna natin kalimutan ng ating mga ka-I'll be there's na nanonood and who will be watching and re-watching our episode number 3 tonight. Always remember, matatagpuan niyo po ang Motivation Philippines to our official page, Motivation Philippines. Just type in Motivation Philippines. And you can also follow my FB page, Al Madale, at ang ating tawag po niyan, Instagram, Al Ramos Madale. Ayan. So yung topic natin is getting out of the open. And I think, Reg, it's timely kasi nga maraming mga tao talaga na may pinagdadaanan. And I think one of the struggle, no, nang especially hindi lang ito sa mga taong may pinagdadaanan, but to things yung mga medyo nalilito kung depressed na sila or sad sila. Kasi sometimes mahirap, even me, minsan naiisip ko, depressed ba ako or sad ako? Mga ganung tanong.
At saka mahirap din,
Right.
kasi maraming klase ng mga depressed na people. May iba na very productive pa rin, hindi mo alam. I think meron tayong personal experience, no? We met a very young, fun guy, and then bigla niya na lang naisip na, i-end yung kanyang life. So I really hope maraming matututunan ng tao about sa depression with this podcast. So
Yeah.
they don't have to, yun. Alam mo na.
Yes. Oo. Alam kong speechless ka rin kasi sometimes, kasi nga sa depression, mental health, I think one of the parang difficult when you talk out openly in the public, minsan din kasi parang you don't know if you're
Nagiging
using the
taboo.
right term. Oo, tama ba yung mga sasabihin mo? Tama ba yung mga pagkasabi mo? Kasi minsan baka nakaka-offend tayo. So I think that's one thing na pwede natin pag-usapan tonight and we'll clarify things. At para sa mga ating viewers, no, kaya mga friends ni Almadale dyan, no, huwag kayong mahiya. Pwede po kayong mag-comment, pwede po kayong mag-like and share. Kung meron po kayong, kung mga katanungan. So wag po kayong mahiya. Okay. And of course, tonight, kukumpletuhin na natin ang ating grupo because we are going to welcome. Ako na yung welcome sa kanilang dalawa, Reg, and help out
Sure.
na lang no, sa pag-welcome sa kanila. And of course, isa sa ating mga kasamahan at isa sa mga tumutulong sa atin when it comes to Motivation Philippines. Also one of our good friend, and I would like to welcome Miss Sendelin Villaruz, a registered psychometrician and a registered and a certified NLP practitioner and a hypnotherapist of NLP Hypnosis Philippines. Please help me welcome our first guest for tonight, Ma'am Sendelin Villaruz.
Thank you. Hello, good
Hey!
evening. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Ma'am Sen. How are you?
Okay naman. Ito, medyo ano lang yung voice ko kasi galing din ako sa online class kanina. So, yun.
Oh.
Thank you for
Yes.
inviting me.
Yes. Yes, and of course, kami ni Reggie at lahat ng mga kasamahan mo sa Motivation Philippines at sa lahat ng mga nanonood tonight are very, very happy to have you on board to help us, no? Kasi yan talaga yung pinaka-forte, di ba, ng pagiging psychometrician, no? you really to have understanding, no, the psychology part and everything. And I'm pretty sure with your experience and expertise, matutulungan mo kaming breaking the myth, yung mga
Um,
depression. At yes, Reg, may gusto kong sabihin kay Ma'am Sen?
yeah, excited akong marinig kung what Ma'am Sen has to say, no? Especially na NLP practitioner siya. So I'm very excited to hear what she can say about depression in relation to neurolinguistic programming or NLP. Not just, as a psychologist, but as an NLP practitioner. So ayun.
Yes,
Very
yes,
excited.
yes. Yes, me too. And of course, i-introduce ko naman yung isang kasamahan natin tonight. He is also an NLP practitioner and a hypnotherapist. I would like to welcome on board, we have Sir Romel Isla. Ayan. Sir Romel, good evening. Welcome.
Wow, good evening, good evening.
Hi, Sir
Kumusta
Romel.
ayos
Good
ka?
evening.
Good evening, Sir Al and Sir Reggie. Mabuhay sa ating
Yes.
lahat.
Yes, mabuhay tayo tonight, right? Mabuhay po ang lahat ng mga naniniwala na hindi tayo nag-iisa sa laban na to, right? Na tayo ay hindi nag-iisa at tayo ay may parating kasama. And that's the
Yeah.
I'll Be There For You program.
Mhm.
Ayan. Mag-hi ka po, Sir Romel, sa ating mga viewers at mga nanonood tonight.
Hi guys, and kumusta? I hope you guys are doing well, and yung segment na to sobrang to me sobrang solid kasi like maraming tao hirap sila mag-open up dahil parang like depression,
Mhm.
it's a taboo thing to talk about. Parang minsan
Mhm.
kakausapin mo yung tao na I think you also need some help, pero parang hindi ako baliw.
Mhm.
Yun yung agad na yun yung agad
Yes.
na parang label. And now
Yes.
we have
Oh,
the opportunity to like open up and then see things kumbaga paano sila as it is, not just kung ano yung unang tingin natin sa depression na hindi siya dapat pinag-uusapan sa labas.
correct. Kaya nga napaka-timely ng topic natin and the title itself, Getting Out to Open. Kasi nga, I totally agree with it. That's the number one hindrance and the barriers ng mental health advocacy is the stigma itself. No, even me, no, if ever na ako din pag may pinagdadaanan din ako, nahihirapan din ako mag-open agad-agad kasi nga baka baliw ba ako or ano ba itong ginagawa ko. So maraming salamat kasi tutulungan niyo ako tonight. So we will now go sa ating first part, no, ng ating program, in which is meron tayong small na letter or katanungan coming from our I'll Be There na itatago natin from the nickname na letter B. Ayan. Oo, bakit kaya B ang ginamit niya? So may nag-send sa atin ng question through Facebook natin, through the Motivation Philippines. Sabi niya, Dear Al, no? Dear Al, send your question for tonight. Sabi niya, Dear Al, lagi na lang akong walang gana sa lahat ng mga bagay. I feel sad sometimes. Ayoko nang pumasok sa work minsan. Is this depression? No? From B, I'll Be There natin. So first, B, thank you so much. No? Salamat dahil meron tayong mga kaibigan na nagpapadala ng mga katanungan sa atin. But ito yung pinili natin na sasagutin natin for this week episode kasi timely talaga depression yung pag-uusapan natin. And yun nga, will be the start ng ating pag-uusapan. Sabi niya, lagi na lang akong walang gana sa lahat ng mga bagay. I feel sad sometimes. Ayaw ko nang pumasok sa work minsan. Is this depression? I think we'll kick off with a general question para sa lahat muna. When is depression depression? Parang ganon. So, for you, ano muna, siguro sa mga layman's people muna, tulad kami ni Reggie, no? Kasi hindi naman talaga kami super practice pa, no, for this part, no. Para sa iyo, Reg, when is depression? For your personal experience, kailan mo ba nasasabi sa sarili mo na depressed ka?
Okay, so it's hard minsan, no, to when you're depressed kasi sometimes you're just super stressed and you think na you're depressed. So what is siguro if we are to rephrase the question, what is the difference between being stressed and getting depressed? When you are depressed, there are more symptoms. You lose interest in your passion. There's too much or too little sleep. there's
Mhm. Mhm.
restlessness, and ang pinaka grabe is there's recurrent thoughts of suicide.
Mhm.
So kung
So,
ganun na
but
kagrabe,
mhm. Mhm.
so one can
Oo.
say na he or she can be depressed if ganun na ka-intense yung symptoms ng
Mhm.
kanyang emotions, ng kanyang mga
Mhm.
nararamdaman.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it
But
parang
but taking into your personal account, no, personal experience mo, o- ano ba yung usual or dumaan na ba sa buhay mo that you say, okay,
yes,
I am
yes,
depressed?
yes.
At ano yung nangyari sa'yo? Oo.
Uh, it's generalized ko na, I don't want to be super personal,
Yeah.
pero
Yeah.
it came out
Mhm.
of very wrong decisions, and then those wrong decisions costed me
Mhm.
a lot of years. Let's say seven
Mhm.
years. And para sa akin, ano na bang
Mhm.
nangyari? Bakit nandito? I didn't know.
Mhm.
I didn't like where I was, so na-depress ako. So
Mhm.
for me, it's taking discouragement and making a habit out of it.
Mhm.
So para
Okay.
I got discouraged, and I always think about it, think about it, think about it, think about it. Thus,
Think about it. Think
imagine
about
what
it.
your
Mhm.
life would be like, not just every day, but almost every moment of the
Mhm.
day. Ito yung nararamdaman mo. I'm sad, I'm anxious, I'm nervous. Ano na ba? There's so much
Yes.
uncertainty. Ito yung parating nasa isip mo. Imagine what kind of
Aha.
emotions you will feel
Aha.
if 1 week, 2 weeks
Yes.
go by, 2 months go by, na ganun yung
Mhm.
nararamdaman mo. So
So ito, Reggie,
for
ha,
me, that time I
ito
was
yung
depressed.
oh yes. Yes, ito yung nakukuha ko sa'yo. So number one, you're telling us that number one, there is a persistent kind of feelings or emotions.
Yes.
Yung sabi mo, you're anxious, it's you're sad, you sometimes cannot identify your feelings. You know, you said that it's also coming sometimes, yung na-experience mo from wrong decision, and it is a part of your, nangyari siya sa buhay mo, and then may malaking struggle. Yeah, you
Yes.
were trying to say
May
something?
idadagdag pa ako, and I think a lot of people can relate to
Yeah.
this. It's feeling
Mhm.
empty and powerless. It feels like you have no
Feeling
control.
empty.
Yes, feeling
Dumaan
empty
ka
and
dun.
powerless. Yes.
So it's okay to say, it's okay to say ngayon live that dumaan ka sa stage na yun sa buhay mo. You felt
yes,
empty, you felt
yes.
powerless. Mhm.
Parang it's
Mhm.
hard na bumangon out of bed, parang parati kang pagod,
Mhm.
parati magulo ang isipan mo. You have no mental clarity whatsoever. You really feel
Great.
powerless. Parang ganun. Parang the world
Yeah,
is
so
against you. Parang ganun.
and I think sa lahat ng mga nanonood tonight, siguro naman in their life, no, lahat tayo, even me, siguro probably there's a part of my life na parang ayaw ko nung lumabas out of my bed. Is this depression? Kapag hindi ko na ma-identify yung mga feelings ko, is this depression? Kapag nahihirapan ako mag-decide, is this depression? When I have feeling this over emptiness and sadness, is this depression? And sometimes nahihirapan na rin tayo tuloy to think, kasi ikaw sabi kanina na overthinking, na-overthink na lang tayo na, depression na ba to or okay lang to? So hindi mo na, dahil nahihirapan ka na mag-decide between the two, hindi mo na alam tuloy kung anong gagawin mo. Kaya kailangan
Ay.
natin yung tulong ng ating mga special guest tonight with Coach Romel and Coach Sen. Oo. Yeah, right? You
So
wanna
if
say
I may
something?
add, no, if I may add, no, tonight is very nice because we don't just have a psychologist, but we also have a hypnotherapist, and of course your specialization.
Yes.
Din, Al. We have 3 perspectives plus mine
Yes.
as a learner, or
Yes.
as ako yung noob
Yes.
dito. So we have 4 different
Yes.
perspectives. So it's nice for the audience. And
Yes.
ang maganda dito is tayong apat, we have, although different, let's say, ang specialization nyo, we have a common interest, which is, NLP. So again, I'm excited about
Yeah.
it. Anyway,
Yeah.
ayun.
Okay. Yes, but anyway, we'll give time sa ating mga guests naman to give their inputs. But I'm stand corrected though, we have Ma'am Sen is a registered psychometrician.
Psychometrician,
Oo.
sorry.
Na
My bad.
Yes. And she's working currently right now para ma-fully tapos yung kanyang pagiging psychologist. So let's start na lang with Sir Romel first, and then Ma'am Sen after. Happy Women's Month, Ma'am Sen. Ayan. Oo. Women Empowerment Month. Yes. So, let's start muna kay Sir Romel kasi gusto kong i-save si Ma'am Sen kasi siya yung more on psych and human behavior and can really give more on really on depression. So, ano po ba yung depression, having a Coach Romel, having a hypnotherapist I know that you have worked with people, no, with or having depression. Ano po yung depression?
Well, for starter kasi, like, depression, usually, it's parang, alam mo yon, sobrang overwhelmed ka na nung negative feelings, and then the sadness. And then,
Mhm.
ang isang mabigat pa talaga doon is, you lack the reason to get up, to do something. Like, usually, ang mga thoughts na lumalaro na diyan, like, why do I have to do this? It has no meaning. Wala na akong reason to do this anymore, and I'm a burden, and wala naman akong pakinabang, wala rin akong gagawin, wala rin akong gustong gawin. So why do things? Yun
Yeah.
yung talagang mahirap na part doon, kasi how are you going to motivate someone who feels like walang motivation, wala nang reason to do anything, totally wala. Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin
Yeah.
na maging happy ka lang, okay ka na yan. No, hindi siya pwedeng gano'n.
Yes. Alam mo Coach Romel, no, naalala ko tuloy yung nabasa ko na article that there are 3 H daw of depression. Yung haplessness. Talagang ginugol ko pa yung meaning ng hapless. Yung parang unfortunate or something. Haplessness, hopelessness, and helplessness. And I think yung sinasabi mo on what is depression is all about. I think these 3 things generally na nararanasan ng isang tao kapag na-depress. I would just like to ask though, I believe so you have worked with people who have having depression.
Yeah.
Yes. And ano yung mga usual na observe mo na meron sila, like having those hopelessness, wala silang pag-asa, wala silang energy?
Well, ang good thing about that, with them, sa mga na-handle ko na clients is, they're looking for help. Naghahanap sila ng tulong. And one thing na I found in common with them is, if I don't do something about this, kumusta yung mga anak ko? Kung hindi ako hahanap ng tulong ngayon, kumusta yung alaga ko, yung aso ko, kasi kumbaga,
Yes.
may iba sa kanila, they're living away from the family. So parang ang family nila ngayon is yung pet nila. So hindi nila pwedeng mapabayaan yun. And then another thing is, if hindi ako hahanap ng tulong ngayon, my family will be sad. Kasi parang kumbaga,
yeah.
very to some people debatable yon, very kumbaga hindi siya nagwo-work sa lahat, dahil to some people they think like, pabigat kasi ako, so okay na mawala na lang ako, mag-disappear na lang ako. And to some people naman, if nawala ako, they will be sad, and I don't want that to happen.
Babalikan ko yung keyword na shinare mo, Coach Romel, mo, ng help, no? Help. I think I would love to dwell on it more, but I would like to give time also to Ma'am Sen. Send in our psychometrician on board, no? Kasama natin, who is also an hypnotherapist and NLP. Ano po ba ang depression? Para sa kaalaman ng ating mga nanonood tonight.
Yes, medyo ano lang tayo, technical, and yun, kasi meron tayong basis, lalo na sa mga psychologists and psychiatrists. Meron kaming tinatawag na DSM-5. It's our manual for assessment and diagnosis. So, ang depression ay isang klase ng mood disorder. And marami pang iba't ibang klase ng mood disorder. So, hindi lang depression. So, sa manual, ang pinakakilalang tawag sa depression ay major depressive disorder, or yung kilala din na clinical depression. So, under depressive disorders, marami pang iba't ibang class, pero dun muna tayo sa major depressive disorders. Kung saan ang mga tao nakakaranas ng patuloy na kalungkutan. Isa kasi ito dun sa pinaka keyword when it comes to diagnosing someone with depression. Patuloy yung kalungkutan niya, like almost every day for 2 weeks. And
Mhm.
dun na nag-start din na
Mhm.
nawawalan siya ng interes sa maraming bagay. Like kunwari
Mhm.
mahilig siyang lumabas, mahilig siyang makipagkita sa mga
Mhm.
friends niya. For
Mhm.
2 weeks na gano'n hindi niya na ginagawa, 'yun mga gano'n. Tapos
Mhm.
meron na rin siyang pakiramdam na ayaw na niyang mabuhay, hindi na siya nakakakilos ng normal, compared doon sa mga normal or, normal daily activities na ginagawa niya noon. At mas ano
Mhm.
pa dito,
Mhm.
mas nakikita doon yung naapektuhan na rin yung performance kung estudyante, nakikita 'yan sa performance niya sa school. And kung nagwo-work na, yun makikita din naapektuhan na rin yung performance niya sa work. So ang depression ay
Mhm.
isang seryosong karamdaman na nangangailangan ng pang-unawa at pasensya, lalo na
Mhm.
ngayong panahon natin na pandemic, maraming naapektuhan, may kanya-kanya tayong struggle na pinagdadaanan. So yun, ito ay
Great.
isang
Mhm.
serious talaga na kailangan ng understanding ng bawat isa, bawat
Pagtuunan 'no?
pamilya, oo,
Mhm.
yun.
Mm. Dapat talaga siyang pagtuunan ng pansin.
Mm,
Napakaganda 'no, because I'm really trying to reflect sa lahat ng mga words na sinasabi niyo, and coming from Coach Romel, sabi niya, yung pag-ask ng tulong. And coming from words naman ni Ma'am Sen 'no, ni Coach Sen, sabi din niya, ito ay karamdaman. So ibig sabihin, kapag karamdaman, disorder, ibig sabihin may puwedeng gawin, right? At
yes.
kung may puwedeng gawin, ibig sabihin may puwede kang hingan ng tulong para ito ay harapin mo as a person. And to make it effective, kailangan mo ng big support coming from people no around you. Ito lang follow-up question lang general. Either the two of you can answer or probably Reggie, you can add also your inputs to this. Sino ba ang usually na nakakaranas ng depression? Or is there a specific group or population na masasabi natin na mas mataas ang chance na ikaw ay magkaroon ng depression? Kasi kakagaling ko lang din ng isang webinar, no, and nag-ask din siya ng advice sa akin. He just lost his father. Tapos natatakot siya na mag-go through na baka maging depressed na lang siya, no? Sino ba sino ba ang nakakaranas ng depression? I'll go muna with Coach Sen and then with Coach Romel after.
Actually, ang depression ay walang pinipiling age,
Okay.
group,
Okay.
mayaman, mahirap, puwedeng makaranas ng
Mhm.
depression. So, andito tayong
Mhm.
mga mental health advocate, we raise awareness about depression
Mhm.
para malaman natin paano maiiwasan, paano maaagapan, saka paano magagamot ang depression
Mhm.
kasi wala siyang pinipili. Kahit sino puwedeng magkaroon ng depression.
I love it no when you said na wala siyang pinipili because
Mm.
depression can strike anytime and to any person. Kapag andyan yan, depression is really there. Coach Rimel, ano yung gusto mong madagdag dun sa sinasabi kong follow-up question na sino ba ang nakakaranas or ano ba ang mga tao na risk na possible na magkaroon ng depression?
Yeah, actually I totally agree with Coach Nen kasi
Mhm.
depression has no face. It can be anyone.
Mhm.
Like just because someone is broken doesn't mean na
Mhm.
made-depress na siya. May mga tao na very resilient pagdating sa mga situations sa
Okay.
buhay nila.
Mhm.
And you can
Mhm.
actually
Mhm.
find people din, may mga makikita ka na tao na highly productive. Their life is in order, their career, their relationships, their
Mhm.
finances, okay
Mhm.
sila lahat. Parang
Mhm.
parang all of a
Mhm.
sudden like in a snap of finger may time na lang na may episode sila na okay. So ang tagal nila na nagmumukmok and then everything go on a downward spiral. So kumbaga it
Mhm.
can be anyone.
Mhm. It could be anyone. And I think if I recall it correctly, no, according sa WHO na studies, na 79% na nagko-commit ng suicide, no, which they think also na may related sa depression yung suicide, is that coming from a low to middle income people. So basically, no, it just says that as you mentioned, yung depression, it cross, no, it cross-cutting siya sa lahat-lahat ng mga side.
Mm.
Coach Reg, do you have a follow-up
Yes,
question
yes.
when we
Oo,
sa
yeah.
ating mga guests? Mhm.
Since we had this podcast now, since you mentioned now, we are going to talk about depression. I read a book. It's called Lost Connection by Johan Hari. So it's about
Mhm.
uncovering the real cause of depression. And with reading that book, I watched interviews,
Mhm.
with the author, and ito yung surprising. They did interviews sa, I think, 4 countries: America,
Mhm.
America, Japan, Taiwan, and Singapore. So 3 Asian, 1 American country. And then sa
Mhm.
depressed people, ito yung kanilang ginawang exercise. Every day for 2 hours, try to be positive. And it worked for
Mhm.
3 out of 4 countries. And guess which country ang depressed pa rin, wala naging impact? America.
Sino? Okay.
America. So
Kala ko
ang
tayo.
tatlong Asian
Okay.
countries, it helped them greatly with depression except for America. And ang reason is
Mhm.
culture. Because when they practice happiness, ito yung nangyayari, they do stuff for other people. They connect with other people. Ang
Mm.
Americans are not like that. When they want to be happy,
Mm-mm.
okay, I'll buy an iPhone for me.
Oo.
I'll do this for me.
So you're
It's more
telling
about
us,
me. So connectedness
continue.
has something to do with depression. Culture and
Great, no?
connectivity with other people.
Oo. Oo. So maganda, no, kasi you were talking about the culture and connectivity, kaya in that study maganda siya na point natin dito sa talk, na although the depression does not choose, pero how to go through depression, paano natin siya labanan, it helped also kung ano yung usual na kultura meron tayo dito. So before I go to the question of paano natin siya labanan or paano natin i-address ang depression, ano po ba yung usual sign, Coach Sen, kung ano po yung mga signs ng depression?
Okay, bago ko sabihin yung mga signs ng depression, gusto ko lang ipaalala lalo sa mga manonood natin na please, don't self-diagnose. Kasi every time na may
Mhm.
nakikita tayong mga signs ng depression, usually sinasabi, "Ay ako
Mhm.
yan, ay ako yan lahat, ay ako na 'to, hala ano na ba?" ganyan. So
Mhm.
yun muna, wag muna, don't self-diagnose. Sa mga sasabihin
Mhm.
kong signs, kung nararanasan niyo siya, it's better to consult a mental health professional. Okay?
Mhm.
So yun.
Mhm.
And it's
Um,
okay. And it's
yes.
okay to consult.
Oo, okay siya kasi
Okay.
mas baka kasi mas alam mo yun, may mas masamang effect kung tayo lang sa sarili natin na i-self-diagnose natin. So yun, wag natin i-keep sa sarili natin. Mag-ask tayo ng help kung nakikita natin sa sarili natin 'tong mga signs na 'to, okay. So,
Mhm.
'pag nagda-diagnose kami, we usually, um, kino-consider lang na at least five symptoms na dapat nararanasan mo 'to almost every day for 2 weeks. So, ano ba 'tong
Mhm.
mga 'to? Depressed mood. So, kagaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, it's a mood disorder. So, ano ba yung depressed
Mhm.
mood? Ito yung matinding kalungkutan na hindi nawawala, okey? So,
Mhm.
next
Mm.
is, kawalan ng pag-asa, hopelessness. So, ito yung mga parang, lahat na lang parang hindi niya na nakikita na may mangyayaring maganda sa buhay niya, ano na ba 'to, wala na akong patutunguhan, parang gano'n na
Mhm.
na feeling.
Mhm.
Tapos, pagiging iritable, yung
Mhm.
konting maliit na bagay 'pag kunwari may hindi na nangyari sa gusto mo, irritated ka na or
Mhm.
na hindi ka naman dating gano'n. Ito pa,
Mhm.
pagbabago sa gana sa pagkain. Yung iba,
Oh.
kain ng kain, kain ng kain. So, akala mo masaya siya,
Aha.
pero
Kasi
puwede na
kain ng
din
kain.
puwede na rin siyang sign ng depression or hindi makakain. So, it's either, ano siya, kain ng kain or hindi makakain. So, kasama
Okay.
nun, ma-observe mo din kung nag-i-increase yung timbang niya or may sudden decrease sa timbang niya. So, isa
I
rin,
see.
kasama din yun sa signs. And then,
Mhm. Mhm.
ito din yung, change sa pattern ng sleep niya. So, meron dito
Mhm.
na sobrang, hindi makatulog. Meron akong mga
Mhm.
nakakausap na like 3 days hindi sila nakakatulog.
Wow.
Gano'n yung effect sa kanila ng depression. Pero meron namang iba na tulog ng tulog. Sila yung mga nasasabihan kadalasan na tamad. Akala nila tinatamad lang,
Aha.
"Ay tamad yan," ganyan. Pero yun pala hindi alam ng mga kasama sa bahay or gano'n na may depression na pala.
Oh.
Akala nila tamad lang pero yun na
Okay.
pala ang sign
Yes.
na Wala na siyang gana,
Yes.
kasi wala na siyang gana kaya tulog na lang siya ng tulog. Pero ang totoo,
Mhm.
paggising niya, pagod pa rin siya, ayaw pa rin niyang
Mhm.
kumilos, wala pa rin siyang gana.
Mhm.
So yun,
Wow.
oo, tapos sorry, tapos yun pa,
Oh,
sorry ang dami 'no, pero sa mga to at least 5 lang siya. Meron din yung iba
okay.
wala ng, walang ganang kumilos, kasama na yun.
Mhm.
Magkaka-connect siya, eh. Tapos ito
Mhm.
yung pinaka gusto nating, ma-prevent kasi yung iba nagkakaroon na nga ng recurrent thoughts or yung paulit-ulit na
Mhm.
pag-iisip na
Mhm.
magpapakamatay
Mhm.
or yung
I
suicidal
see.
ideation.
Id Ideation.
Tapos,
Wow. Mhm.
yun meron din silang feeling na worthlessness, napakawala kong
Mhm.
kuwenta, yung mga gano'n
Mhm.
um, na iniisip nila sa sarili nila. Ta's meron ding guilt.
Mhm.
Minsan, kahit hindi sila yung gumawa, pero 'pag may narinig sila or nalaman silang news na may ganitong, unfortunate event, iisipin nila sila pa rin yung may kasalanan. Parang may gano'n
Mhm.
din yung iba. Tapos,
Mhm.
nahihirapan gumawa ng desisyon. Usually, hinahayaan na lang nila magdesisyon yung iba para sa kanila. Nahihirapan na rin silang
Mhm.
mag-concentrate and then
Mhm.
ayun, laging may kasamang anxiety. Okey, tapos,
Mhm.
physical
So
naapektuhan na rin yung sorry, may question?
no, oo. Kasi I'm seeing it 'no, napaka-diverse at napaka-wide ng range ng mga signs and symptoms ng
Yes,
depression. Kaya tama pala yung disclaimer mo na sinabi mo
mm.
kanina na nag-remind ka muna na sa lahat ng ating viewers na hindi ibig sabihin na meron ka nito, kung ano man ang minention natin tonight. Guys, sa lahat ng mga ka-Albilaers, hindi ibig sabihin ay meron ka ring depression, okey? So, ano pa yung siguro for one last, Coach Sen, ano pa yung isa na you think na dapat pa nating or expected nating makita kapag ang isang tao ay may depression before I go to Coach Romel?
Ayun, sa physical symptoms naman na ano, nakakaramdam din ng hindi nawawalang sakit ng ulo. So,
Okay.
pati sa
Naku,
alam mo
sakit
yung sa
ang ulo
mga
ko
sa
parati.
tiyan, sa ganyan, oo. Minsan
Mm.
'pag nagla-lab test na lahat na ng test, wala, normal lahat,
Wala,
ganyan. Pero
okey,
pala,
okey.
dahil din yun sa
Okey.
depression. So yun, so
Mhm.
kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, hindi porket nandito lahat 'yan, ida-diagnose niyo na yung sarili niyo. Please consult a mental health
Oo.
professional.
Wow, thank you 'no. So that now leads me to the word na minention ko kanina kay Coach Romel, yung word na help 'no. So, 'di ba siyempre you are always encouraging other people to really seek for professional help. But Coach Romel 'no, becoming an NLP practitioner also and as a hypnotherapist at you work also with people na nagkaka-depress. Ano ba yung mga puwede mong just a bit na puwede nating sabihin na puwede nilang gawin at, para matulungan 'no, help ang kanilang sarili for them to be able to reach also to other people 'no. So, ano ba ang puwede nating sabihin to help themselves sa kapag nakikita nila na, "Oh God, this is depression. What can I do to myself? Anong puwede kong gawin to myself?"
Okay. 'Pag sa sarili kasi usually ang nangyayari diyan is yung recurring thoughts natin ay
Mhm.
wala na 'to, wala ng kuwenta,
Mhm.
ba't ko pa 'to gagawin, I don't have the
Mhm.
energy, I don't have the
Mhm.
motivation, I don't have the reason. So,
Mhm.
isa nating puwedeng gawin diyan, of course, we can write. Not for the sake of not for the
Mhm.
sake of writing, not to give you
Mhm.
yung mga hocus-pocus na advice. It's more like you also want to write to to process your thoughts. Ano ba yung nangyayari in
Mhm.
your head? Kasi
Mhm.
mas
Mhm.
nakaka-anxious siya if hindi natin alam kung ano yung nangyayari,
Mhm.
ano yung iniisip natin, ano ba
Mhm.
talaga 'to. So, if we write, we help transfer what's in our head to the paper. Tapos we can actually,
Mhm.
find kung saan talaga tayo nahihirapan. Kasi yung
Mhm.
sa may pagsusulat, malaking malaking bagay siya. It actually helps you then to elaborate
Mhm.
your point, to um, to tell people ano ba yung gusto mong sabihin. Kung hindi mo pa kayang sabihin sa kanila, you can tell that to paper.
Mhm.
Kasi
So meaning you are telling us na writing out your feelings, your thoughts is helpful.
yeah, it can help you to process it. Kasi ang mahirap
Mhm.
doon, pag hindi mo siya pina-process, nandiyan lang siya, naglilinger lang siya sa ulo natin, like
Mhm.
especially yung mga negative thoughts and voices, naglilinger siya diyan sa ulo natin.
Mhm.
What will happen there is naglo-loop
Mhm.
siya, and the more siya na naglo-loop, the more siya nagtatagal diyan sa ulo natin. But
Mhm.
if we can put
Mhm.
that on paper, if we can identify kung ano yung thoughts na yon, at least we have a better chance of processing it. For example, may mga taong depressed na ang
Mhm.
nasa utak nila lagi, wala kang kwenta, wala kang pakinabang,
Mhm.
wala kang
Mhm.
kinabukasan.
Mhm.
If nandiyan lang sa ulo
Mhm.
mo 'yan, maglalagay ng roots 'yan eh, lalalim ng lalalim.
Mhm.
But if you can put it on
Mhm.
paper, at least you have the chance to prove it, kung kaya mo siyang i-prove, okay, ito ba, totoo ba 'to? Kung ano ba yung
Mhm.
meron ako,
Okay.
totoo ba siya?
Okay. So, yun yung mga pwede nilang gawin, 'no. I think it's very helpful kasi ngayon, ang mga tao, 'no, expressing their thoughts through writing, 'no,
Mm.
is really, I think, I believe so therapeutic din siya. And I think isa din yan sa mga effective na ginagawa ko sa lahat ng mga ka-Albeveros diyan. Yan, nakikita na nila ako sa office, tatlo yung journals kasi different na setup ko siyang ginagamit. But quick
Mm.
question, Coach Sen, ang ating nagagamot ba ang depression? What's your quick answer for that?
Yes, nagagamot siya, lalo na kung
Mhm.
maaagapan. So, basta nakikita mo na may mga signs, mag-ask agad ng help.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Coach Romel, ito naman, just a quick question for you. Kasi ito yung usual kasi na nangyayari sa atin eh. Minsan meron tayong kaibigan and kapamilya na nakakaranas. Oo.
Mm.
Ano bang pwede natin gawin kapag meron tayong mga kaibigan or kapamilyang nakakaranas ng gano'n? Mm.
Okay. Pag meron tayong mga kaibigan na nakakaranas ng gano'n, especially friends, usually mas open sila kaysa sa family na na
Mhm.
na na nakakaramdam sila ng depression, ganyan. Mas open sila
Mhm.
sa kaibigan, especially mga teenagers. Now, what we can do
Mhm.
is, ang unang-una do'n, come from a place of help. And
Mhm.
don't think yourself as the expert. You are not an expert tungkol sa depression, but
Mhm.
come from a place of help.
Mhm.
Kasi minsan ang mahirap kasi sa mga kaibigan natin, parang ako naging victim na din ako, and naging ganito din ako dati na, hindi ako nga
Mhm.
ganito eh.
Mhm.
Ako nga ganito eh. Kumbaga yung nag-open up yung
Okay.
kaibigan na parang, alam mo na sobrang hirap ako, ang hirap ng ganito ganyan.
Mhm.
So depressed na ako kasi ganito yung nangyari.
Mhm.
Dude,
Mhm.
alam mo,
Yes.
think of happy
Mhm.
thoughts, and magiging okay din 'yan. Snap it out, like okay lang 'yan, maging masaya ka lang. No. You're
Uh-huh.
you're ano, you're
Uh-huh.
you're invalidating their experience, you're invalidating their feelings, and
Okay.
with that,
Okay.
mapapaano mo sila, parang lalayo sila lalo.
So it's not helpful. It's not
Mm.
helpful na you just tell them na, ay nako, mawawala lang yan. Reg, I'm sure you have
Yes,
questions.
yes, yes.
Oo.
May question ako for,
Before I call,
yes.
go.
May
Oo.
question ako both from Ma'am Sen and Sir Romel, no? Kasi ito na kasi yung nagiging parang trend with depression. Sometimes depression becomes an excuse. Yung iba, example, sabihan mo, alam mo ba na hindi lahat ng tao, again, kapag parati kang down, parati kang sad, tapos sabihan mo na, uy, bakit again? Tapos sinasabi niya na, this is valid, I am depressed. This is like diabetes. This is ano ba to? Parang
Go
ginagawa
go to
oh, parang
scapegoat
yes, yes,
na
yes.
nila.
So ang question ko is, kasi yung iba, they have an idea na you can be depressed without a reason. You can be depressed without a reason. So it's nice na the answer comes from both of you, no? So is it really possible to be depressed without any reason at all? Kasi yun yung, ewan ko kung nakarinig na kayo, no? Pero sabi nila, you can be depressed without any reason.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
ayun.
Yeah. Mm. Baka may sagot ang ating mga guests.
Okay,
Ako,
actually
sige.
sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Sige. Ah, so pagka sinasabi nila na depression without any reason, kasi totoo naman, iba-iba kasi ng cause talaga. Wala talagang definite or specific cause sa isang depression.
Mhm.
So kung ganyan ang statement, meron kasi tayong mga based sa science kasi it's sinasabi doon na it's due to a chemical imbalance sa brain
Yes.
natin.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
possible na walang traumatic experience na pinagdaanan yung tao or walang talagang
Mhm.
mga walang
Mhm.
unfortunate events na nangyari sa kanya,
Mhm.
pero
Mhm.
nade-depress pa din siya. Um,
Mhm.
sa medically natin, puwede siyang ma-check, makikita doon na merong chemical imbalance. Kaya ito naman
Okay.
ginagamot siya sa pamamagitan ng medication para ma-correct yung
Mhm.
imbalance na yun. So 'pag mga ganyang medication na, kailangan mag-consult sa isang psychiatrist. Kasi sila lang ang
Good.
puwedeng
Good.
mag-prescribe ng tamang gamot para sa depression, lalo
Mhm.
na kung talagang ito ay walang ibang cause. So kahit anong gawin mong
Mhm.
therapy sa kanya, kung wala naman talaga siyang pinagdaanan na naging cause nung depression niya, kailangan niya nung tamang gamot para sa
Okay.
depression na yun.
Wow. Okay, thank you. So actually we have a special guest din no na on board natin in very very few. How about you, Coach Romel? Just to answer also dun kay Reggie's question. Sorry. Before I introduce yung ating special guest also tonight. Ay may surprise tayong konti. Oo.
Wow, solid. Well, yeah, for question ni Coach Reggie. Well, hindi talaga natin masabi din na kung ano yung reason kasi as Coach Sen mentioned earlier na possible na chemical imbalance na siya kasi we met a lot of people, may mga tao din ako na meet na highly
Mhm.
productive. Their life is in
Mhm.
order, walang traumatic experience but chemical imbalance siya.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
it can be fixed. So, if the question naman is ano yung gagawin sa mga tao na parang nagiging
Mhm.
go-to scapegoat nila yung
Oo,
depression
oo.
para hindi
Mhm.
mag-function ng mabuti sa trabaho, okay. You can ask them, is there anything that na we can do to help you cope with that? Or
Mhm.
ano na yung
Mhm.
ginagawa mo ngayon to
Mhm.
in dealing with that? Kasi dalawa
Mhm.
two sides of question siya, eh. Possible na okay, performance niya and then yung situation niya. So, as much as possible, let's address both. Let's
Mhm.
address yung
Siguro
problem. Okay, yeah.
mhm. Mhm. Siguro parang what I'm getting, and it's just like a reflection ko lang na if what do you do with it, eh? Yun yung parang point of
Mm.
discussion. If you are clinically diagnosed, what do you do with it? Do you do it para mas maging reason na hindi ka maging productive? Or do you do it as a reason why you should go back to what you can do as a person, no? Oo. So I
Mm.
think hindi ko uubusin yung oras natin, no? Kasi we have very few minutes left. Hindi ko in-expect na ganito kabilis maubos ang isang oras.
Yeah.
Promise. Halos hindi ko nga mapasalita si co-host ko na si Reggie, but we will give time sa ating special guest tonight. Direk, I'm sure nasa likod ka lang. He is also a mental health advocate, no, bagong member ng Motivation Philippines, and he is also a mental health struggler who have undergone depression. And he is willing to give testimonial tonight para makapag-inspire sa mga nanonood that it is okay not to be okay and it is okay to go out and seek help. Yan. So to help us, I would like to call on our special guest. We have Bon, ayan, to give his
Hello, everyone.
testimonial.
Hello,
Hi,
good,
Bon.
Everyone,
Good
everyone. Hello,
Hi,
evening.
Bon. Good
everyone.
evening.
kamusta?
I'm doing good.
Yan. How are you, Bon?
I'm doing good as of now. I mean, yeah. Sa
Yeah,
karon.
okay, sige. So, sa karon, oo. So, Bon, yung nanonood sa atin is buong Pilipinas, no? So, I'm sorry, magtatagalog muna tayo ng konti. Oo.
Yeah, okay
So,
lang.
it's okay. So, just tell us briefly, Bono, if there's shortly, ano yung pwede mong ma-share? Tell us about your experience when you had depression. Just shortly.
Okay, so when I had depression, I had this thought na pabalik-balik yung thought na pabalik-balik talaga yung thought na
Mhm.
mag-suicide ako. And then I have this
Mhm.
feeling na I lose hope, I lost all my friends, na wala akong malalapitan.
Mhm.
And then I lost everything,
Mhm.
my dignity and my
Mhm.
confidence kung saan
Mhm.
iba ako noon at iba ako nung nagkaroon ako ng
Mhm.
depression. So my
Mhm.
self-esteem, I lost everything, like parang lahat talaga. And
Mhm.
parang pasan ko yung
Mhm.
buong mundo, and I used to be a jolly person talaga. And when I had this depression, I have this kinda low
Mhm.
energy of mine, like walking without
Mhm.
head. Like pinapansin nila ako pero ako okay, 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 gano'n, parang gano'n.
Okay.
And yeah, kung tatanungin niyo ako kung makakausap ako sa friends ko and I can ay tumatawa ba ako, yeah, I can laugh and I
Mhm.
can talk to them like normally. But
Mhm.
then 'pag wala na yung moment na yun, 'pag nawalan na dun,
Mhm.
nandun ako sa bahay or ako lang mag-isa, bumabalik ako sa zone ko kung saan
Mhm.
blackout lahat, wala akong maisip
Mhm.
kundi yung yun lang, parang wala talaga akong
Mhm.
gana. Oo, wala talaga akong gana kung
So, Bon,
mm.
mhm.
So
Mhm.
yun
So, Bon,
lahat.
eto, I'm sorry. Oo. Sorry to cut you. But I think, eto yung second question ko sa'yo. What made you decide to ask help? Oo. Ano yung turning point mo na, okay, eto yung nangyayari sa akin, I should start seeking help? Mhm.
So I used to be jolly person, and I used to
Mhm.
study hard and everything, at dahil lang dun one snap, parang nag-twist lahat, yung parang,
Mhm.
hala, parang wala na, 'di na 'to ako. So one time nag-attempt na ako, and then nag-attempt ako nun, and then
Mhm.
may tumawag sa phone ko and hindi ko alam, unknown number. Tsaka
Mhm.
parang dapat parang gusto ko ng sipain yung chair, and then there's
Mhm.
this call, unknown number, na parang
Mhm.
gusto kong ano, gusto kong sagutin, ayun, at sinagot ko naman, and then
Mhm.
sabi niya, "Bon, ito si Bon," at alam nila na meron talaga akong thoughts na ganito kasi yung mga post ko and everything
Mhm.
parang wala na talaga.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
mm, tas yun, yung teacher na tumawag sa'kin is guidance counselor sa high
Mhm.
school ko, sa high school. So, we
Mhm.
are best friend, and and I mean, I am a former student peer facilitator, so that's why lumapit talaga ako
Mhm.
kasi alam ko yung,
Mhm.
um, alam ko yung trato ng mga guidance counselor
Mhm.
towards, people having this kind of problem. So ayun, lumapit ako sa kanila. Mm.
Yes. So in short, Bon, it is okay to ask help, and it is okay to feel the support of the people around you. Naramdaman mo naman yung suporta sa lahat ng mga na nakapalibot sa iyo. So
Mm.
thank you so much, Bon, no, because it's not really easy to share, as in super, that's very courageous of you for what you have done tonight, no, to share to other people that it's really okay to help, no, to ask help. Ika nga sabi ni Coach Sen at ni Coach Romel. I would like to probably to ask briefly, no, between for both Romel and for both Ma'am Sen and Sir Romel, ano po yung general message natin sa viewers when it comes to depression? Sir Romel.
Okay. For the depression, as much as possible, we come from a place of help. Yun yung kumbaga rule of thumb ko pagdating sa mga tao na
Mhm.
may nararanasan ito.
Mhm.
Don't
Mhm.
judge them. Don't
Mhm.
don't throw away
Mhm.
don't throw assumptions na nag-iinarte lang to. Alisin natin 'yon and
Mhm.
come from a place of help na ang laging question is paano ko to matutulungan ng mas maayos instead of insisting yung way natin na ito ang naiisip ko na dapat na
Yes.
gawin diyan. No.
That's true. That's called paternalism. I like the message tonight meaning you ask for help and it is okay to ask help. Do not judge and do not assume. Yun yung pinaka-message for tonight. Coach
Mhm.
Sen, how about you? Ano yung general message, final message natin sa mga viewers natin when it comes to depression?
Um, wag tayong matakot humingi ng tulong, wag mahiya kasi minsan yung mga nakakausap ko parang sinasabi nila na sorry ang liit kung ang liit daw ng problema nila baka daw i-judge sila yung mga ganyan. Pero sinasabi ko
Yes.
kagaya na ina-advise ko sa iba na don't invalidate the feelings of others. So kayo din, huwag yung invalidate yung sarili nyong feeling. I-acknowledge nyo yan. Kasi yan yung nararamdaman nyo eh. Maski kami, wala kaming karapatang i-judge yung nararamdaman nyo. So kung yan yung nararamdaman nyo, feel it. And hayaan nyo, kung malungkot kayo, give yourself time na maramdaman yung kalungkutan na yon. But don't stay there too long. Gamitin mo lang yung time na yon
I
para
love it.
parang yung ginawa ni Bon na inanalyze niya. Hindi ako ganito dati, anong nangyari, anong kailangan kong gawin. So gamitin mo yung time na yan para makita na pwede ko pala tong gamitin para mag-bounce back, para humingi ng tulong sa iba. At saka kung tingnan mo yung support group mo, first talaga tingnan mo sa family. Pwede mo bang masabihan ng parents, siblings? Kung wala, tingin ka sa friends. Kung wala pa rin, kung nag-work ka sa colleagues, kung meron na kasi tayo ngayong mental health law, so ina-encourage natin ang mga employer na mag-provide ng assistance sa mga employees. So kagaya din ng physical health, ganun din ka-importante ang mental health natin. So kung tayo ay may headache, may ganyan, nagpapa-check up tayo sa doctor. So ganun din ang mental health. Kung may nararamdaman tayo, wag matakot humingi ng tulong at magpa-check up po tayo.
Okay. Wow, thank you. Wag matakot at wag bahiyang humingi ng tulong, magpa-check up tayo. Bon, what is your message to the viewers natin tonight? Ano yung ma-share mo sa kanila shortly, briefly? Ano yung gusto mong i-share sa kanila na the same thing na may may naranasan tulad sa iyo?
My advice to the people who are scared of seeking help, I know it's hard to tell your problem, lalong-lalo na yung confidential about health mo, but when you fight and seek for help, one thing for sure, worth it talaga. Promise.
Wow, that's good.
Pwede pa sige.
Worth it. Yes, Reg, please. Ikaw na kasi next. Go.
Ang sa akin naman, if you're depressed, try to change the meaning of your emotion. Wag mong lagyan ng tuldok like, depressed na ako, ito na. Kasi it's hard to be creative if you're frustrated and anxious. So sabi nga, I think there's a saying, sabi nila, you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it. So if you have the same mindset with na gumawa ng problema nun, you can't solve it if ganun lang din. So you need to have a fresh perspective. Maybe ask people, try to ask yourself questions para it can be actionable. Instead na period, try dapat sana question mark. Parang try to be curious and analyze instead of, I'm depressed and then period. So try to change the meaning of your emotion.
Ibig sabihin, it's all also in your mind setting, right? So we are already 2 minutes away, and as in super grabe, hindi ko expect na ganito kabilis maubos ang isang oras. Akala ko nga kulang. Akala ko nga sobra-sobra pa. But just super fast advice, one question each for each one of you. Bon, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Fast advice tayo, unahin natin si Coach Sen. Coach Sen, ano yung natin, fast advice sa taong napapagod na sa kanyang buhay?
Magpahinga, pero wag susuko. Yun.
Wow, I like it.
Oo.
Solid.
Kasi, di ba, yung sinasabi, parang sa katawan natin, pagpagod na yung katawan natin, ipahinga natin. Pero wag mong susukuan kasi there is hope at maraming willing tumulong sa atin.
Wow, I love it, no? Kapag napapagod sa buhay, magpahinga pero wag susuko. Ito, fast advice for your Coach Romel. Ano naman ang pwede nating sabihin sa taong nalilito na kung ano ang gagawin niya sa kanyang buhay? Hindi na siya makapag-decide.
Okay. Fast advice natin sa mga nalilito na you can mark down, mag-mark ka lang what's your point A, what's your point B,
Mhm.
and if hindi
Mhm.
if hindi mo alam, just move forward. Why? Kasi pag nagkamali ka ng isa, alam mong mali ka. So meron ka ng point of reference kung saan ka mag-a-adjust ng direction or saan ka mag-a-adjust ng speed.
Wow. Wow, galing So just keep moving forward because kahit mali ka, you will know na mali ka at alam mo kung ano yung tama. So Reg, for you, last 10 seconds. Ano ang fast advice mo sa taong nagsawa na sa pag-iintindi ng ibang tao?
Don't be afraid to make bold moves. If it comes down to not tolerating the bad behavior of the other person, then so be it. Minsan din, maybe it's the person mismo who's the problem. So kung hindi yung tao, yung the other person yung may problem, baka ikaw. So analyze.
Yes. Thank you so much. At that's it. Walang tatayang oras, but greatly. Thank you so much, Bon. Thank you so much, Coach Stan. Thank you so much, Coach Romel. And of course, to my co-host, Reggie De La Torre. Maraming salamat. Ito ang ating show. Usapang Ikaw at Ako, I'll be there for you. Ang usapang buhay, usapang karamay para sa inyong pang-araw-araw na advices. Ang sagot ay, I'll be there for you. Only here at Global Pinas TV. Maraming salamat and see you next week for another episode. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.
See you again.
Mabuhay.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you.
Thank
Just-
you.
Guys, thank you. Thank